viewers of Cosplay Sanctuary. This is your host, ScottyB. Friends, follow here on YouTube Weekly for videos on cosplay, fandoms, interviews, tips to build your cosplay brand, and of course, always a safe space for you to share your stories and what motivates you to stay active within the community and contribute to our cause to bring cosplayers together in this space. With me this week to discuss something very important is your cool, calm, and collected co-host, Astravoid Cosplay. Astra, how are you doing
Cool,
today?
calm, and collected. Those are the words we went with today. Man, after some of the rants I've been on, I don't think you can use those anymore.
Oh, I needed some alliteration, so.
Yeah, all right.
Lots
Fair,
of K
fair.
sounds.
Well, hello. I'm very excited for this topic this week. We should have done this earlier, I feel like.
Yes, this should have been a while ago. It should have been maybe less than 80 episodes ago. But
people have seen us, and it's interesting because I don't think people really know like anything about, you know, how we met, how we started, or just in general what we have in common. So I do think this topic is gonna be very fun. I'm very excited for this one.
So really, there's really not a lot of backstory that I need to go into about this because it's really just a question. But I had a very amazing cosplayer on as a guest not too long ago, Miss Green in the library. Miss Green, if you're listening, hello. We talked about, and the title of the episode is called Common Ground in Cosplay, looking for things that are common with fandoms, with those things that we love and want to talk about, the things that we love and want to talk about, that we don't always know. And, you know, we might be wondering, how, like you said, what is it that brought the two of you together to do the show, or what, is it like, what got you to this point? And we really never talked about that. Like you're right. Like
no.
it's been this long, and it's like,
no.
Okay, ta-da, here's Astravoid.
No.
And
no.
So I thought, maybe it would be a good place to start to, talk about fandoms and see if there is actually a common ground between us, and there are actually fandoms that we both enjoy, because
this will be fun.
I've never asked the question. Not one message has been like,
no. Somehow.
Did you see this? Did you see? Oh my God. Like, it's never been.
No.
It's usually just like, I was wondering if you have a few minutes to record some episodes.
It's always been like, hello, I was wondering if you have a few minutes to talk about. It's always been so like professional. It's never been like just, which is funny because, we don't take each other, well, obviously we respect each other, but we don't take each other like overly serious. It's never all stuffy and emaily, like we text each other. So it's, it's just something funny how we've somehow, it's funny because the first episode that I was ever on, right? Like everything started with a contract. Everything started with like a very serious, professional environment, which is important. But it sort of just over time evolved into, are you free this weekend? Can you film? It's like, yeah.
Yep, I can get you notes in 20 minutes if you can be on the show in 30. Because I'm just finishing all of that up now. It's been a busy week, but so I have 5. I picked 5 kind of at random, not actually. They were really just the 5 that came off the top of my head.
Okay.
To see if these were actually fandoms that we would in fact have
bond
something
over.
We would be able to like bond over. Of course, I don't know if Step Brothers could be a cosplay. I see, because you're wearing the Step Brothers.
Yeah, I'm wearing the shirt right now. It's my favorite shirt I've ever had. If you've seen Step Brothers, you'll know what this is from.
I'm still waiting for the sequel.
Movies. Yes, one of my favorite movies of all time. I watched it when I was a child. Probably shouldn't have, but I watched it when I was young. I grew up on that, and it's shaped my sense of humor since. So it's become like one of my favorite things of all time.
You can call me Nighthawk. That's right.
Nice.
So the first one that I had on my list is like Terminator. Is Terminator a fandom that you like?
I think that was right around the time, whether before me when I was too young.
Like 19,
the way we're aging
the 80s
ourselves.
and 90s, yeah.
The way that we were aging ourselves.
Even the series was a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, I never really got into it. I have nothing against it. I'm sure if I sat down and watch it, I would love it. It seems like something right up my alley. I've just never taken the time to sit down and actually watch them. But I I do know, of course, like the taglines or the cliches, and I know what it is. It's not like I'm like, oh, what's that? Like I've never taken the time to sit down and watch it, but I got nothing against it. So.
Right. Well, I'm really holding back a lot right now because I just want to start talking about Terminator.
I know, I'm sure, and it's fine. I love people talk about their passions. I think it's great. I know someone in the comments is gonna just like, oh, you don't know, but there's always something that people don't know.
Yeah,
you
most
can't
of those
know
comments
everything.
most of those comments get suppressed by the algorithm anyway, so it's fine.
Good, as they should.
So the next one is one of my all-time favorites, Ghostbusters.
Yes. Okay. I grew up on these films, this franchise, if you will. This is one of the big ones. Yeah, of course.
So you enjoy the story about three guys who build this whole franchise, become entrepreneurs, and end up saving a city. I think everybody kind of knows it's been about 40 years.
Of course,
what the plot
yeah.
is.
It's kind of like Willy Wonka. I feel like everybody knows what that is.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
I mean, I had proton packs. That was like my first Halloween costume. Really, like I dressed up like a Ghostbuster. I think making like a slime pack would be like the coolest thing. It would be so expensive. It's gonna be so expensive. Like, what am I saying? I'm gonna try it. I will.
You
definitely.
are.
I'll get one of these slime blowers. I'll bring it to a con. It can't be one that I fly to, obviously, because it's it's gonna be this like gigantic foam thing. It's probably about 4 feet tall or something like that. But it would just be really cool. Everybody has a proton pack, but I rarely see Ghostbusters cosplaying with the slime packs from the second movie.
Yeah.
Yep. Or just putting like World of the Psychic in my background just for an episode would be fun too. First two movies were good. I don't know how you feel about the Ghostbusters movies with like Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig, and like how that one went.
I feel like they shouldn't have touched it. I feel like they should have just left it alone. I have this opinion on a lot of movies and franchises. Like Avatar is a big one for me. If we were to talk about that, I'm talking about the James Cameron Avatar, not the blue aliens, not the earth, fire, water, not that. I'm talking about this.
Not the last Airbender.
Yeah, no, this one. Because I heard they're coming out with a sequel. I'm excited, but I'm nervous because I feel like they should just leave certain things alone. Like Finding Nemo, right? Just don't touch it. Just leave the classics alone, right? Just don't touch it. I felt like they should have definitely just left it alone because I think they ruined it personally. I didn't like it. I think that it got ruined. Yes.
The next one is, and now these are like the three big ones for me. I mean, there's other big ones, but Dragon Ball Z is like a fairly big one for me.
I respect it. I'm gonna be so honest. I've never had any interest in it. I am not into those kinds of things. I'm really not into anything anime either. Which is annoying because people constantly are like, you should cosplay this or that, and I'm like, I have no idea what that's from. Like, oh, it's from this anime, and I'm like, well, that's your first problem. I don't watch any. It's just not my thing. I respect it. It takes a hell of a lot of time to make it, a lot of time to watch it, a lot of time to understand the culture behind it, and get the cost. Full respect. It's just not my thing.
It's really cool.
Just me going off like, I don't like it. You just, it's really cool.
I know you were just talking about that you're not really anime, and I was like, yeah, well, that's okay. I can respect that. Definitely do. I mean, nothing against people who don't dig Dragon Ball Z, because it does take a little bit to get into. It's 75 episodes of a lot of nothing, followed by one really, really cool episode with a lot of fight scenes, and then like another 75 episodes of not a whole lot going on. You get past that, and then really, there's all these different little segments. There's sagas. You got to go through Saiyan Saga, Frieza Saga, Cell Saga, and then it gets a little bit weird. But it's really cool. The
I'm
next
glad you have
one.
your thing. I'm glad you have your thing. I'm glad. No, I'm serious because there's some things that I like that you probably don't, and that's just true of everyone. But I always hate the people who are like, oh, that's so stupid, that's so lame, that's so, like, you can't tell me you don't have one of those things, like just respect all around.
Fourth one that I had on the list is Thundercats. So a lot of I feel like a lot of these started in the 80s. Like a lot of my fandoms that I'm bringing up are
I'm looking at the list and I'm realizing now
like
that
a while back.
Yes.
I should have tried to spread the genres over more decades than I did.
As my voice nervously cracks, I know I'm gonna get so much for this. I know nothing about this.
Oh, Lionel, the voice actor, doesn't live too far from me. He was a radio guy a while back in Peoria, and he does the con there sometimes. I missed it the last time he was there, and I just thought it would be really cool to meet actual Lionel and talk to him because he is the Lord of the Thundercats, and nobody else can do that voice. It's like trying to find another voice for Optimus Prime, right? Like,
oh, don't
like
get me started.
Transformers.
Transformers is one of my favorite fandoms.
See, I should have put that one on there.
Growing up, you have no idea. I could gush about Transformers. I have a Bumblebee shirt. I love Transformers so much. So much. I watch the animated shows. I watch the movies. Yeah, that was a big one for me, which is always funny because, like, growing up, of course, you have like the stereotypes of like, oh, guys like this, girls like this, and then I'm over here like, I like Transformers. it was always so funny as a topic to talk about. That's a big one for me. Sorry, I get really excited about it. No, I know nothing about Thundercats, but I'm sure it's very cool. I've seen like a couple like clips, I think. Yeah.
I do like what they did with like the newer version versus the old 80s version of Thundercats, because you watch the intro, okay, and like you may want to try this just with one episode. I'm sure you can find like a clip or something online, but you'll watch the intro and you'll be like, okay, this is really cool. Like there's all this like, like all this action, things exploding, like they're flipping around and doing all this stuff. And then you'll get into an episode of Thundercats and you'll be like, where is it? Like what
happened?
Why? It like some of the episodes are a bit campy. So you're like, this doesn't really fit the intro too well. Like what happened here? But overall, like there are some episodes that are just like, they're really cool. Yeah. Like even now, like I mean, I probably haven't watched one in quite a while, but and I certainly haven't seen them all, because when you were a kid growing up and you were trying to get home to watch this at like 3:30 in the afternoon, they only played so many, on syndicated television. There were only so many episodes that you would ever even see on TV. So there's hundreds of them probably. There's probably 85 episodes that I've never seen for Thundercats, but I still like it. I went to see them like live action a long time ago. Yeah, so it was a Thundercats like live action. It wasn't like Thundercats on Ice. It was like the next closest thing to that. And it was so cool, like being a little kid and then like seeing them all for real. You're like, oh my god, look, it's Panthro. It's all the characters were there. And I was very excited about that. I have no idea what they even did anymore. Like no clue what they were even up there doing. It's all been blurred from my memory banks.
That's fair. I can't even judge, because when I went to Universal Studios and they had Bumblebee come out, and I was so excited. I was like, ah! And it was really cute. And he danced with me and he played me a little song. It was so cute.
We could do a whole thing. We could do like a whole episode on Transformers.
We could. I love it very much. One of my, because my dream car, since I was a kid, my dream car has always been a yellow Camaro with black, like, racing stripes, because I want to have the little Autobot symbol. I've always wanted it. It's never gone away. And here I am. I got stuck with a Decepticon car. I have a Mustang.
And here I thought you were going to say something like, I've always wanted a semi with a white trailer.
I always wanted a giant truck.
It's just like really, really cool to have like an 18-wheeler.
Kind of a flex, like just pop out of my giant. Honestly, kind of feeling that, yeah.
So the last one on my list, is kind of an obvious one. It's X-Men.
Of course. Oh, it was the thing that we met over. Mm-hmm. It was how we met. You found me through my Jean Grey cosplays. You found me through all of that, and you sent me a very anxiety-inducingly, seriously professional email thing, because you were like, I'd love to work with you, blah, blah, and I was like, I've never had this happen before, what's going on? And it was very, I remember going to my dad, I was like, what does this mean? There's a contract. And it was so funny.
And I think I told you that you should look all of that over with them too. I was like really
you
careful.
You did.
I'm like,
you advised me
don't
to. Because I was like, I don't know what's going on. No, he definitely looked out for me, for my best interest, which I very much so appreciate. Me knowing nothing, coming into everything new.
And he was a really cool Professor X.
Yes, thank you. My dad did do that with me. We built the entire Cerebro console together. We like on a little scooter, so it's all mobile. And he did Professor X with my Jean Grey, and it was so great because we bonded over that. You know, we watched all those movies together. So yeah, X-Men's definitely a big one for us.
As much, you know, as I'd like to just discuss the entirety of all of the X-Men stuff, I hit them somewhere in the late 80s with like Inferno, and then for the Inferno Saga, which I've never done anything on in any of the movies. Like they keep going back over kind of the same stuff a little bit in the movies. I think they did a pretty good job with Days of Future Past when they did all of the like the prequel sequels. But they've overdone Dark Phoenix. I think they've hit that arc a number, you know, enough. But outside of the movies, like the comic books, like there are so many good X-Men comics, just so many. There we go. I guess were we 2 for 5 out of that, and then we discovered, you know, and then
2.5. I would give myself a little credit for Terminator. I know what's going on. You know, I didn't watch it, but I know the plot. You know, I know what's going on. I would give myself 2.5. A solid 50%.
So I guess the other question I had is really what is your number one fandom? What's the big one for you? Do you have one?
I feel like, you know, that's such a good question, Scotty, because I feel like no one would ever know. Like I really don't know what my answer would be, you know? Like the more that I sit here and think about it, I think it might be DC, but I'm just not sure. No, it definitely 100%, it's 50 million, it's Marvel. Of course it's Marvel. But I feel like that's an obvious one. Like I feel like that's the one everybody looks at and goes, yeah. It's always gonna be my baby. I mean, I have Avengers sheets, so yeah. No shame either, for sure. Marvel is the big one.
I like Marvel. I don't know if it's not like the big fandom for me. I do like DC, as you might know, but I'd say they're about equal. I think I give them like equal billing, Marvel and DC. I know growing up it was definitely more Marvel. I think I grew to appreciate more, and you know, Batman helped a lot with DC.
The Batman games for me were a big one.
Yeah, the Arkham games were really.
Those were big ones for me growing up. I think movie-wise, you know, it was always Marvel, but like growing up with the video games, it was mainly DC, especially Teen Titans. I grew up on the original Teen Titans and all of that. It's funny because I know I watched the Japanese version when I was little. I didn't even know until I was older, and I was watching, I guess, the American version. And I saw that the thing popped up and it started playing the theme song, and I started singing this song in Japanese because I was always so used to it. And then I was like, what is? I was like, this isn't the theme song. What is this? And then I was like, So like, yeah, there are some things that will always be close to my heart with that one, but for sure, like Marvel has taken over my life and my bedroom because I'm looking around the room. Yeah.
Thanks so much again for being here with us and sharing in the discussion that we've had about some of the common fandoms that we have. Be sure to share the video out, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content every week. This is ScottyB and Astravoid Cosplay with Heroes of Cosplay Sanctuary. We'll see you next week, everybody.